Harley. So, I'm back. For tonight's Sleepytime cinema selection. This is off to a great start. I am going to watch a movie from 2004. And as it happens, the year after this movie came out, I was actually in Tampa, or outside of Tampa in Clearwater, where they filmed it. It was all anybody could talk about. Anywhere you went, everybody was like, hey, did you know this is where Thomas Jane and John Travolta, this is where they stood. This is where they did the thing. The bridge at the very end of this movie, I've actually walked across it. Because I couldn't afford a cab, but that's a whole nother story. So the movie stars, as I mentioned, Thomas Jane and John Travolta. It's called The Punisher. It also has big, sexy Kevin Nash. He guest stars as the Russian on it, a little bit part. So the movie is actually an origin story of The Punisher. It doesn't follow the comic like super closely, but it actually kind of makes more sense in a realistic kind of way. It's one of those instances where they took stuff out of the comics to make a movie, and they actually kind of made it better. So Thomas Jane's character, Frank Castle, the Punisher, he is, I think, a CIA agent. He works for some part of the government, and he is an undercover operative who is trying to weed out who is running guns. And it's his last mission. He's going into retirement. He is super excited about a family reunion that's going to be taking place in like Puerto Rico or Costa Rica or one of those places. Some tropical island resort. And he goes and he gets to this meeting point, and there's people there that he doesn't expect to be there. One of them happens to be this young kid who has a gun, and unfortunately, when things start to go bad, he's told to put the gun down, and he just kind of freezes with it like in the air, like, I'm not supposed to be here. But he gets shot because he didn't drop the gun. That young kid, unfortunately for the Punisher, is this guy's son right here, Howard Saint. It's his son that's killed. And the system kind of fails for Howard Saint because there's no justice as in his eyes. There's no one that's, held accountable for his son's murder. Even though his son was, wrong place, wrong time, and didn't really follow directions the way he was supposed to. So Howard Saint asks his wife, what do we do? What will appease you? What will make this right for you? And instead of her, kind of eye for an eye situation, she decides she wants to kill the village. She wants to exterminate the entire line of, the entire bloodline of the person who killed her son. They do some digging because it's Howard Saint. He's super rich. He has lots of criminal ties, and he knows how to pay the right people, and he discovers who killed his son and where he is. And conveniently, the whole bloodline is on an island that he can get to and destroy. Thomas Jane, Frank Castle, his whole family is killed right in front of him. And he is almost killed. I mean, he's brought as close to death, I think, as any one person can be. It's sort of a miracle that he survives. This island guy nurses him back to health somehow and gives him this shirt with this skull on it. And so when he goes back home to New York, and he's like, hey, why hasn't anybody been prosecuted? Why hasn't anyone been brought to justice for the murder of my entire family? All of the cops and everybody that he talks to is just kind of like, well, about that, kind of got paid off, so we're not really looking into it. We don't really care. And that's where the Punisher is born. He takes matters into his own hands. You burn down his village, he's going to burn down your entire country. He's going to turn your best friend against you. He's going to make sure that your other son is killed. He's going to make sure that your beloved wife is murdered by your hands because you're a jealous mofo and think that she's cheating on you when in fact she just really likes to go see movies. And then he's going to explain all of these things that he tricked you into doing and then kill you. So it's where the Punisher comes from, but the thing about the Punisher is once all of this is completed, it doesn't bring back his family. It doesn't take that pain away. So he just goes on punishing whoever deserves it. Okay, so this is not off topic, but side note, sidebar, as a friend of mine would say. My arm really hurts from holding the camera. I had to switch arms. So I have a boo-boo penguin. Isn't it cute? Okay, so it's been brought to my attention recently, the Punisher. He is, his mission, in his mind, his mission is to bring justice to his family or revenge. But then it turns from revenge to punishment. And then, I mean, he finishes that in this movie, as it were, like really early on. And he just doesn't stop. So is he a good guy? Is he a villain? I mean, is he a hero? Is he a villain? Is he neither of those things? Could he just be a serial killer? Like, was he damaged so much when he was brought near death that there's just no stop at this point? There's no off switch for him. Because really, he does go about killing people, but it's kind of indiscriminately, and it really has no interest in justice per se. It's just kind of like, you're kind of bad, and you're in my way, so you just got to go away. So I think you should leave me a comment. Tell me what you think. Make sure to like and subscribe, and tell your friends to subscribe because you don't want to miss out on this. My videos are kind of random anymore. Who knows when the next one will be? And unless you subscribe, you won't get that text message that says, hey, Harley put up a new video. It's a really great movie. I went on a little too much about it. I probably gave a little too much away. But if any of my ramblings were incoherent, even more reason to go see the movie because it makes sense. So go check it out. I love it. It's one of my favorite movies. I hope you enjoy it too. I really think they did a great job with it, and I can't wait to watch it again.
Make sure to like, click this button to subscribe. And if you want to see more videos like this one, click here to see the playlist. And if there's a third button, click that one too. And then tell me what it does down below, because I didn't put it there.